Pretty good looking flag, I gotta say. Thank you to the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly for the fancy new decoration. I think it looks fantastic. I'm pleased to be joining you on the territory of the Lekwungen people, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations, and I'm joined today by Attorney General Niki Sharma. Way back there. British Columbians know and Canadians know this is an unprecedented time for our country and for our province. A country that has always been Canada's ally, Canada's closest friend, our best trading partner. The people that we turn to in emergencies and who turn to us in their moment of need as well. Their president, Donald Trump, has declared economic war on our country. What we see is that despite claims to want to strengthen the border, in fact, Trump wants to eliminate the border. He wants to not buy our resources and create jobs here and mutual opportunity on both sides of the border. He wants to just take them. He wants to annex Canada and turn us into the 51st state. That's not a kind invitation. That is a threat to Canada. Trump thinks he can bring us to our knees by threatening tariffs. Well, what he is seeing is that Canadians are standing tall. In one voice, in both official languages and many other languages, we're saying very clearly, we will never be the 51st state. Canadians are united in our vision of Canada as a democratic and sovereign nation that makes its own decisions. May it ever be that. And you're seeing evidence of this everywhere you look. Drive through the neighborhoods of anywhere in British Columbia right now, you see Canadian flags on front porches, on balconies and windows. See a couple of people with Canadian gloves on here on the lawn of the legislature today. People checking labels to make sure they're buying products from BC and Canada. Now, the chaos and the swings back and forth, the tariffs are on, the tariffs are off, the threats, the orders rescinded, put in place. It's all a deliberate tactic to weaken our resolve, and it will not work. We're going to protect British Columbia's workers and families and businesses, and we're not going to stop. I'm here to share that we will be introducing a new law in the coming days to respond to this historic challenge. Unprecedented legislation. It will include such countermeasures as allowing the province to apply fees to commercial trucks that transit through British Columbia on their way to Alaska. If passed, it will provide legislative authority to remove internal trading barriers that stop us from trading with our partners and friends from coast to coast to coast. Among other authorities, the legislation will give government flexibility to respond rapidly to executive orders from the President as they arise. It will also assist us in developing the long-term solutions that we need to ensure our economy grows, and that although we face this threat right now, we will come out the other side stronger, more united, and more prosperous than ever. To respond to this unprecedented threat, we need every possible tool available to us, and I look forward to sharing much more detail about this new law when the legislation is introduced in the coming days. We are fighting back hard in this trade war. We didn't ask for it, but we're sure not going to shrink from it. Our initial response included removal of liquor products from Republican states, Texas vodka, Tennessee whiskey, Kentucky bourbon from BC liquor store shelves. We're not buying it anymore. We directed BC Liquor Distribution to stop purchasing these products. The provincial government and Crown corporations have been directed to buy Canadian first, to buy BC goods and services and goods from across Canada as part of our Team Canada approach. Absolutely right, thumbs up. Nice thing about doing the event on the legislature lawn is everyone gets to participate. Ottawa has announced 25% tariffs on billions of dollars of goods imported from the United States. and other provinces and territories, including British Columbia, are acting together to reduce trade barriers between our jurisdictions. Just yesterday, ministers announced an agreement to ensure that liquor products from BC wineries, distilleries, and breweries can ship freely to consumers across Canada. Ours are the best products in Canada, and they've got access to a whole new market. This is something we fought for a long time. It's great news. Now we're pressing ahead to ensure that labor credentials are recognized as well across the country, so that the teachers and the doctors and the nurses have their skills recognized equally in all provinces in the country. It'll open up more opportunities for workers as well as employers that are looking for workers to fill critical vacancies. And we're going to make it easier for us to buy goods from other provinces and vice versa by recognizing the standards and regulations of other provinces for consumer goods. Now, while we're doing this, we're still reaching out to Americans. We're speaking directly to Americans through American media and through international media about the cost of this for American families. Their homes will be more expensive with a 50% tariff on BC lumber. Their electricity will be more expensive with a 10% tariff on Canadian electricity. Filling up the gas tank will be more expensive with a 10% tariff on Canadian petroleum products. Their pasta will be more expensive with the tariff on Canadian wheat. Their farmers will be struggling with higher bills for the potash that they need to grow food for Americans with a 25% tariff on potash. This is foolish. It hurts Americans, it hurts Canadians, and it needs to stop. We continue to strengthen BC's economy by speeding up major projects, 18 projects, including clean electricity projects, major mines across the province representing 8,000 jobs and billions of dollars in direct investment in the province. And we're finding more and more markets for Canadian products and BC products by diversifying our trading relationships overseas. We can never, ever again be in the position of being at the whim of one single person in the White House, who it turns out is an unpredictable and untrustworthy partner who is not keeping his word. I created a Trade and Economic Security Task Force with business and labor and Indigenous leaders to grapple with this issue. Together, we are working on solutions to ensure our economy grows and is prosperous. A task force on agriculture and food to ensure that if the U.S. weaponizes food, that we have the food security we need to feed British Columbians and grow our economy and grow our exports. A BC Softwood Advisory Council for one of the most vulnerable sectors to this unjustified and bizarre trade war where Americans are, through the president, are trying to make their housing more expensive. Our Softwood Advisory Council will assist us in moving products to new markets and dealing with these unjustified tariffs. And finally, a new cabinet committee is coordinating this work across government. We need all hands on deck. All Canadians, all British Columbians are pitching in, and we're going to do this together. These tariffs are a profound mistake. They hurt people on both sides of the border. We didn't ask for this trade war, but since one has been imposed on us, we're sure going to fight back. We're stronger because we work together. We'll always be the true north, strong and free, elbows up. Here we go.